family. I remember the Healthy Mind Strategist, helping hurting people grow past that trauma into authentic leadership, regardless of the area of expertise, because we've all been through trauma. We know what it feels like angry, disappointed, feeling sometimes insecure, feeling those feelings of not feeling not good enough, right? We know what it feels like to go through some form of loss, right? Or losing someone or losing something or going through some form of traumatic event, right? Or difficult situation where we felt like our emotions was overwhelmed and we felt like it was just too much, right? I am also a peer support specialist and certified mental health coach, helping those who need help with codependency or those who may be struggling with their emotions. I am also a best-selling author. I am a host on Reach Gospel Radio and the founder of traumadefeated.llc. So let's talk a little bit tonight about people pleasing, people pleasing. There's wrong with being nice or friendly or kind, right? Or loving to others. We love being good to other people. I know I do. I know I love helping people and giving in some way, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's an excellent personality trait. It's a part of having good character, being willing to help and serve, right? And being there for people when they need us, right? But we can't forget about us. And many times we don't want to disappoint our family members, loved ones, friends, co-workers, right? Maybe even a neighbor. And in some situations, it can put pressure on us, right? Or that sometimes those people or that person can put pressure on us, right? Especially if we're struggling, then we may have a hard time struggling to, in other words, but then we may have a hard time saying no. But no is a good word in many situations because it's things through and that we're using wisdom. And it's important that we pray about situations, right? Because, well, let's put it this way, it may help, right? People pleasing, talking a little bit about people pleasing tonight. It may help to avoid some conflict or confrontation, but at some point it will leave us defeated or feeling stressed out and unhappy, maybe even resentful. It's hard to be true to yourself when you're always changing your actions and words, right? We don't want to keep changing our actions and words based on what we think other people want from us or want us to do for them, right? What we how we feel does matter, and it's hard to be true to yourself when you're always trying to be there for everyone else, but you forget, wait a minute, I have to be here for myself too. So it's time people pleasing. It's time to stop people pleasing. We want to be kind, we want to be helpful, we want to serve, we want to be there for others, but we don't want people to manipulate and control us either. So anyway, when I decided to get some therapy 30 years ago, right? I was told to choose a gift. I was told to, well, I spent 28 days in a Tampa Bay, Florida rehabilitation center because I was so overwhelmed and so codependent and so depressed and so tired. So anyway, when I decided to get some help, finally surrender that need to control, right? Um, a group of us was blessed to be taken to a gift shop. And we were told, because they knew we were struggling with, seeing ourselves and we were taking care of everybody else. So they had a plan. So they took us to the gift shop and they told us to pick out a gift for ourselves, right? Because many people that struggle with codependency, sometimes they put yes so they can be there for everybody else, right? I don't do that today, but back then that's what it was. That's what I was doing. And so we picked out a gift, and when I picked out my gift, what jumped out at me was this white polar bear. This beautiful white stuffed polar bear. And on the polar bear it said on one paw, please, and the other paw it says me. Please me. That's what the polar bear said on his paws, please me. And it jumped out at me, and that was my choice, this white polar bear. And I had this polar bear for some years. You hear me? I wish I knew where it was now, but I was moving and everything, and somewhere along the line, I lost. So anyway, I was told, so anyway, okay. So I was so used to holding in my feelings or trying to help others that I lost focus on my own importance, right? So it's important that we tell ourselves, no matter regardless of our circumstances, that we are important. So I'm just going to share some few little nuggets because I'm not trying to be here long. It's late. Well, it's 10:28. I don't know. I have some live viewers here. Thank you for being here. And also thank you to my new subscribers because my YouTube channel is moving now, starting to move now. Anyway, I shared that before. My YouTube channel was set up wrong, and I was just posting all these videos. I couldn't go live, but I kept showing up, and nobody was really hardly any. And my daughter, who's been on YouTube for years, set my channel up for me, and I'm like, okay, here I am, guys, and my channel is growing. So thank you to my new subscribers, and if this message bless, I ask that you bless this channel so that I can continue to bless other people, right, with the message experience from my experiences and that you subscribe to the channel, okay? So anyway, here's a few tips on people pleasing, okay? Because people pleasing is not good. We don't want to get so caught up in helping others that we forget about ourselves, and now we're becoming the martyr and we're resentful, and let's be true to ourselves. So the number one is be true to yourself instead of trying to fit in, because sometimes people get caught up in people pleasing because they want to fit in or because they want someone to like them. Let me tell you another quick story. There's a show called All American. All American, you probably know it. So I was recently watching All American Homecoming, season one, I think it was, just Homecoming, okay? And in the story, some young ladies, I don't want to get into a long thing about it, but two of the young ladies were tennis players, right, in college. One was Thea and one's name was Simone, okay? So Thea, she came from a family with money. Her grandparents had money or whatever, but she was just mean. She was mean. And she was mean because she wasn't getting the support that she needed or the love that she needed as a child, I guess. But the bottom line is she was mean to the other tennis players. And, then especially if they were new, she would just come up to them, say something a little mean and sarcastic and passive aggressive. And, so anyway, Thea, was just, she didn't understand why Simone didn't understand why Thea behaved the way that she did. So at some point, she wanted to, she decided to try to understand and try to be her friend. And somewhere along the line, Thea, who didn't really trust anybody anyway, um, they became friends, okay? Thea started trusting Simone, and they became friends, okay? But I believe that Simone was more her friend than Thea was her friend, because Thea had a lot of healing to do. They both had some healing to do, but Thea really was angry, and she had a chip on her shoulder. Long story short, they liked it the same. So, Simone liked it her. Simone had a best friend. His name was Damon, okay? But she already had a, so they just became best friends, all right? So eventually, Damon and Thea started dating, and they became girlfriend and boyfriend, okay? So stay with me now. They had a tennis match, and someone from one of the other teams from another, stay with me, destroyed Thea's tennis rackets, and she was crying. She was really upset. As usual, Simone would come and kind of like rescue her, because in the somewhere along the line she started people pleasing anyway and giving Thea a birthday party that she didn't even want, and nobody showed up because of her attitude anyway. So long story short, Thea Simone encouraged Thea after the other teammate from another college destroyed her tennis rackets. Simone encouraged Thea. Simone, somewhat of a people pleaser, encouraged Thea and told Thea, girl, you're gonna get out there and you're gonna kick butt and you're going to use my racket. You can use my racket. Now get out there and kick butt because Thea was just upset. She said she couldn't play. Okay, so Thea got out there with Simone's tennis racket and she won. They were all very excellent at playing tennis, okay? They were top notch, okay? So anyway, after the tennis match, long story short, a few days later, Thea realized her shoulder was hurting. And what did she do? What did she do? Although she knew that the guy she was dating was close to Simone and knew her first, as we can add on to that as well. And although she did not thank Simone for letting her hold her tennis racket. Anyway, then a few days later, she realized her shoulder was hurting. And what did she do? She blamed everything on Simone. She blamed everything on Simone. She even accused Simone of pretending to be her friend from the very, very beginning after all of those things that Simone had done for her, that had done for her. The bottom line is, Thea was besides being so sweet to Damon, the guy, she was never really nice to any of the other girls. Besides saying not even Simone, who went out of her way to try her best to be her friend and show her that she is a lovable person, right? So when a person shows you who they are, just another lesson here. When a person shows you who they are, just believe it. It's okay. It's okay to be kind to people. But remember, sometimes people are struggling emotionally, right? It's okay to encourage people. But we can't um, fix people. We can't change people. And sadly to say, they became enemies at some point. What's going to happen in season 2 of the home? I can't wait to see it. But the last thing Simone said was, bring it. I remember that. Thea got up in her face, blamed her, accused her, attacked her character. Hello. Blamed her, accused her, pretending all of that time to be her friend. Blamed her for her shoulder hurting and everything, when deep down inside she was hurting. And what did she do? She always most of the time, she took it out on other people. So, anyway, Simone's kindness, which, that went overboard to people pleasing at some point, she ended up in a very difficult situation with Thea. And to, as far as I know, they're enemies, but let's see what happens on All American Homecoming season 2. I can't like this show. So anyway, let me hurry up and get out of here because it's been 13 minutes, almost 14 minutes. So be true to yourself instead of trying to fit in. Sometimes, we just can't be a friend. We can be kind, but we can set healthy boundaries and keep them at. There's a few people that were, ooh, okay, can be friends, but I love them from a distance. When I say love them from a distance, I say that because they're God's children, right? And I want what's best for them, right? And I know they're hurting and they have some issues and probably need some therapy. So these same individuals that have attacked me in the past, I learned to pray for people's mental health, not try to friends, right? So anyway, number 2, set healthy boundaries, right? Once again, not try to keep a distance, try not to make them your friends, especially if you talk to them, connected with them, and they still being a little mean and nasty, and you can see that little undercover jealousy. Fall back, keep them in prayer. People, just have some underlying issues that they need to address. And what do? They take it out on other people. And what else do? They take it out even more so that are trying to treat them right. So be be wise, be wise. So set healthy boundaries, okay? Number three, some of those people you might have to go and block them. It depends on the situation, right? Okay, number three, stop making excuses. We don't want to make excuses for people's poor behavior or make excuses for our own behavior because we want to fit in or we have an issue with wanting everyone to like us. Well, that's being unrealistic, right? Number one is being true to yourself. That's being unrealistic. People have issues, their underlying issues that need to be addressed is different personality types and so on and so forth. So everybody can't be our friend. And we don't want to make excuses. We want to set boundaries, keep people at a distance, not block, not put a gigantic wall up, but just be honest with ourselves and keep people at a distance, right? Because it doesn't mean that we've done anything wrong to them. We just have to give people space to grow. That's what I like to say. Give people space to grow, okay? All right. And get to know themselves and deal with their own pain and deal with their own issues. Number four, listen to your inner voice. Now, deep down inside, something said, pull away or back away from that individual. Somewhere along the line, I'm sure Simone felt something in her spirit tell her to just back off and leave Thea, let Thea be, okay? Distance from her, play, stay on the same team, do the best you can to get along, but don't go out of your try to force her to be your friend. She even tried to give her she threw a party and nobody showed up because of her attitude, right? Right, moving right along. Spend some time alone. And don't be so afraid to spend time with yourself. I know sometimes you might feel lonely, but you're not by yourself. God is with you. God is with you. You're never really alone, right? Right? So don't start feeling sorry for yourself, because you're by yourself. You want to be your own best friend. I am my own best friend. You want to be your own best friend. So when other people are not there for you, you're there for you. You're there for you. Being good to you, doing good things for you, watching something fun on TV so that you can laugh, doing things for yourself, having self compassion, right? So don't be so afraid of being alone. I love my time alone. It's healthy. It's healthy to have time alone, and then it's healthy to fill up your cup, and then connect with other people. Connect with other people and treat people with love and respect, right? Number six, remember that you can't please everyone. I know we would like to, right? But we can't please everyone. We cannot please everyone. We have to tell ourselves that I can't please everyone, right? We want to, some of us, especially who grew up with a lot of responsibilities at a very early age, like myself, six siblings. So, of course, I got used to, helping mommy out and being there, right? The best way I knew how, right? So sometimes we forget the importance to, let me see. In other words, sometimes we get caught up in wanting to please everyone, and we just can't. I recently missed my niece's baby shower. Perfect example. I recently missed my niece's baby shower a couple of weeks ago, and it clashed with a concert. Now I was going to go to the baby shower, plan on going to the baby shower. I even sent her the gifts ahead of time and all of that. And the conference that I wanted to go to, that I felt was very important for me to go to, clashed with the date, right? But guess what I did? I went to New York and I went to the conference because I knew that's what I needed. That was best for me. Now, of course, I knew she was going to be disappointed. Of course, I knew a few people was going to be looking for me, like where Mona at? Where Mona at? But Mona did what Mona knew she needed to do, and went, and I would make sure I was where I was supposed to be, okay, where I felt God wanted me to be, right? But apparently, a few people were disappointed, right? And then my brother called me, and he wanted me to give him an explanation. He wasn't mean about it. He actually kind of went about it in a little sneaky little passive aggressive way, but he's like he needed to know, why wasn't I coming? Why didn't I make it, right? But he was cool about it. He played it off, he laughed it off, and all this other stuff. But the bottom line is, and bottom line is, I knew my niece was going to be disappointed. It's her first baby. She's like 20 something years old. But I also knew that my children were going to be there, or in other words, her siblings or other people was going to be there to support her. Okay. So I did what I needed to do for me. All right. So some of us do that. And what do? We feel guilty. We let other people make us feel guilty. Right. And I had a little moment because my brother has his ways. So I had a little moment, right? And I started thinking about it. It's like, no, I did what I knew was best for me, and I needed to be there. And to God be the glory. When I got there, and I made a sacrifice to get there because I drove to New York and all of that. But this is the same niece. Here, let me tell you, this is the same niece that when she got something, she is out. You hear me? She has something to do, she is out. We have family gatherings and things like that. Many times she's not there. Most of the time she is not even there. Okay? So once again, there was a time when she was in New York and we were looking for her. She was in New York with another cousin hanging out. Right? So it's important that we know it's important that we do what we know is best for us, right? So remember that we can't please everyone. We can. And number 7, learn to be assertive and stand up for yourself. Learn to be assertive and stand up for yourself. I didn't lie to my brother. I hate to lie anyway, but I didn't lie to my brother. I let him know that conference was there, and I was planning on going to the baby shower, conference class, baby shower, and I chose to go to the conference. Right? So learn to be assertive, direct, speak up, and it's okay. It's okay. You might feel a little uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to doing this. Depending on how strong you struggle with people pleasing you, instantly you might feel as though you need to lie. You don't have to lie. Don't lie. You don't have to lie. Don't lie. Right? Right? We want to love people where they are, but we want to make sure we love to and being true and honest to with ourselves well, okay? Right? Don't lie. Don't lie. They're gonna be all right. They get over it, right? So ask others for help if you need help. Ask others for help if you need help. Some people are so busy people pleasing and being there for everyone else that they don't know how to ask for help when they need to ask for help. That used to be, I don't even think I realized I was doing that. I didn't. Till somebody said one day, Ramona, ask for help. And she said it again, Ramona, ask for help. I'm like, okay, what? So anyway, that was something that she noticed. So a friend of mine noticed, right? So today I know how to ask for help. Am I perfect at it? Really? I still can get caught up in trying to do things by myself, on myself, right? That's not a horrible thing, but at the same time, when I know I really need help, I know how to ask my son or make the phone call or whatever, send the email or whatever. So, in other words, you deserve the help. I deserve the help when I need help. Now I'm like the damsel in distress. I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know what that really means, damsel in distress. But bottom line is, I know how to ask for help, right? And sometimes it's something small, and my son helped me, or one of my children that helped me, or something to learn. Sometimes it's something I just don't want to do for myself. I'm like, you the guy, you do it. I know I can learn how to do it, but you do it. So anyway, I can lift the hood up, but you do it, okay? I've done it before. I can lift the hood up and put some in there too, but why should I have to do it? Son, I need you to do it, right? So anyway, don't be afraid to ask others for help. And that also includes therapy and counseling and coaching, okay? So I'm Ramona Phillips, the Healthy Mind Strategist. Let me go. Let me go because I'm looking at the I'm the Healthy Mind Strategist, helping hurting people grow past trouble. Past trauma and staying out of trouble too. Anyway, I'm going to put my link in there if you want to make an appointment with me for some coaching. Once again, thank you again for subscribing to this channel, and please come back because you want to hear. I always have a story, and I'm going to always have for you. Okay, so keep coming back. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Good night. For those of you who are here live and those of you who come in later, God bless you. Please like, share, and subscribe.